you knew that you already have the tools you need to regulate yourself when you feel triggered, emotionally sensitive, and fired up, would it still feel so scary to get dysregulated? You do have these tools inside of your very body in your autonomic nervous system. In this video, I'll be talking about a brief overview of the autonomic nervous system through the polyvagal theory that was developed by Dr. Stephen Porges and made accessible for psychotherapy by Deb Dana. I'll try my best to make this feel accessible for those of us who are not scientifically minded, and at the end of the video, you'll have some ideas for how to self-soothe, regulate, and foster healing and repair within your nervous system. The autonomic nervous system may as well be called the automatic nervous system because it takes responsibility for many of our automatic functions in our body, including our breath, our heart rate, and our digestion. And these are things that happen without your conscious awareness, and the autonomic nervous system's job is to regulate them. There are two branches of the autonomic nervous system, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. Now, an easy way to remember the difference between these two is that the parasympathetic is like the brakes of the system. It slows you down, and the sympathetic is like the gas. It speeds you up and it gives you energy so that you can mobilize. Our entire nervous system is built off of the understanding that we need to stay safe and alive. So all different functions of our nervous system work to this end, and there are different functions for different qualities of the nervous system that happen in response to whatever is going on in our environment. So if you're feeling safe at your very baseline, you are in a branch of your parasympathetic nervous system that is called the ventral vagal response. This is basically your home. This is when you feel most at peace, at ease, calm. You have a baseline of energy that helps you to move through your day feeling good. You can access connection with other people, and you can feel good in your own skin. Now, if your nervous system senses that something in your environment does not feel safe, it's constantly scanning for cues of danger and threat, and if it picks up on something, this could be something from your past that triggers a memory of when you were unsafe, or it could be as simple as crossing the sidewalk and noticing a car coming towards you. As soon as your nervous system decides that something is unsafe, the first thing it asks itself is, can I do something to keep myself safe in this situation? If I have a burst of energy, can I run away, or can I hide, or can I fight? What can I do to keep myself safe? Now, the doing part of the safety system is the sympathetic. This is the part of you that wants to fight or flight. The sympathetic nervous system's job is to free up enough energy and flood your body with that energy to the point where you can find safety through action. If for some reason you cannot act to get safe, if your body determines that you are in imminent danger, you feel trapped, or your life is in threat, it will bypass the sympathetic and it will go into a state of what's called dorsal collapse. The dorsal vagal system is a part of the parasympathetic branch of the nervous system, which, remember, is about the brakes. Now, if you go into dorsal collapse, this is the absolute strongest brake of your entire nervous system. Dorsal will put you into a state of numbness, apathy, not caring. So when you're in a state of dorsal collapse, you are disconnected from your life. Your nervous system is essentially saying, there's no way to get out of this, so I'll make you as comfortable as possible and I will numb you. The dorsal state is not a healthy place to stay, nor is the sympathetic. Either one of those states in a prolonged experience can lead to health and mental health issues. If you have too much gas in your system on a long-term basis from the sympathetic, you're going to be feeling anxious and angsty and rattled. That can lead to anxiety disorders. It can lead to hypervigilance and a prolonged feeling that you have to stay on alert, run away, or fight for your life. If you are in a prolonged state of dorsal, that will put you in a prolonged period of depression and apathy and disconnection, where you can disassociate, which means not being embodied in your experience, and you can live on a kind of autopilot where life just feels dull and meaningless and set on cruise control. So it's normal for our bodies to cycle through ventral, dorsal, and sympathetic in a period of a day even, because we have different needs for energy. And so we need to have bursts of energy from the sympathetic to give us that boost to move through our day. It's normal to feel disappointed and disheartened by things, which put you into dorsal, but ultimately it is important that you don't get stuck. We want to always return back to that ventral vagal state where we are calm and grounded and in that experience of home in our body. So in order to return to ventral vagal when you are either in dorsal or sympathetic, the best thing is to figure out what sensory cues help you return to embodiment. When I say sensory cues, I'm talking about sight, sound, touch, smell, and hearing. So whether you like to look at a peaceful scene, hear something like waterfalls or waves, if you like hugs, if you like textures, these are the types of things that will help to cue your nervous system that you are safe once the danger has passed. A lot of the time, the danger that we experience in life is real. It can feel like a deadline we're about to meet that we're really anxious about and we're not sure if we're going to meet. It can also feel like that car coming towards you when you're on the crosswalk. So it's important when you're in that space of actual threat and danger to act, right? To either run away or to move into a different situation or setting where you can be safe. And once the danger has passed, we can experience a sense of relief when we tell our nervous systems through these sensory cues that we're safe. Now, another way to tell our nervous systems that we're safe is through co-regulation. And this is something that happens in connection with safe people. This is when one person's nervous system connects with the nervous system of another person that they trust, and together they regulate and they bring each other into that experience of safety in that ventral vagal space. So having safe people in your life that you can process with, that you can share your story with, people you can ask for a hug or a walk or even just a friendly shoulder to cry on, co-regulation is an important way to bring you back into your body and calm your nervous system down. You may notice that you tend toward one or the other survival states. So you might get anxious, you might have a tendency toward feeling rattled and chaotic, or you might default to a more apathetic and disconnected response of the dorsal. So knowing yourself and understanding that your nervous system has these activating and collapsing processes that can help you regulate and come back to baseline for survival. And then from those places, you can actually return to that ventral stable place is really helpful because it lets you know that your human capacity is complex and it's multifaceted. You don't need anything outside of yourself if you have an understanding of these systems. So I invite you to practice getting to know what kinds of sensory experiences soothe you. You may also want to experiment with writing, with making art, with going out into nature, grounding yourself by breathing fresh air, or drinking hot tea, having a warm or cool temperature shift. All of these things are very individual, and pay attention to the way your nervous system connects with them and also connects with the people in your life for regulation. Let me know how this goes for you in the comments, and if you need another video to follow up and clarify some of this, just drop me a line and I'll be happy to record another one. See you next time.